And as always, we are once again back. Yes, we are. This is the CBC podcast. You're either in the wrong place or the right place, depending on what you were looking for. So I'm not sure.
Sometimes the right place can be the wrong place.
That's true. That's true. That is very true. This is, I promise you, going to be a good show filled with all sorts of news. All sorts of news. Yes. Yeah. Well, we are going to talk about a couple good things. We're going to talk more about Spider-Man, Brand New Day, a bit more about the unfortunate future of Marvel games, Daredevil Born Again, not doing anything, Fantastic Four's first steps post credit scene, and for members, we're going to discuss DC Studios as SDCC because James Gunn officially made some comments and Doctor Doom's attack in Avengers Doomsday. So stay tuned for that. Let's get this out of the way. First and foremost, so I'm not sure if you guys know this anymore. I know it's all over the place, but YouTube now, when they see a break that's more than 3 seconds, they will insert an ad. And that just goes, and sometimes you can't even get rid of them. So there's some longer form videos or discussions we're doing where I will manually put it to try to circumnavigate them placing them. But still, the podcast might have more ads than normal. I'm trying to work through it. If you want the no ads version, that is available for members. But then again, you got to pay us a couple bucks. But that's the trade-off, I guess, because there nothing is ad gated or anything. YouTube can't force them on there because they're permanently disabled on all members' videos. So just be aware of that, because before it would be like 3 ads perfectly between each topic. Now they just load them wherever there's an extended pause and we can't do anything. So I'm trying to fix that, but it's YouTube's AI that places them. So who knows?
I'll say I've always heard about YouTube's ads being weird. It's like people going, I put ads here, and here, but sometimes you'll get like 3 in this one spot, and then you'll get nothing, and then you'll get like this.
The whole reason I pay for YouTube Premium is to avoid them, because I like to watch a lot of like science fiction or history, like long 3-4 hour videos when I'm doing cardio. And if I didn't have it, I checked, because I was like, hey, Shay, compare this. In the first hour, one of the video essays I was watching on ancient Mesopotamia had 19 ads in the first hour.
Nice.
And I was like, and this is why I'm paying YouTube whatever I'm paying for this YouTube Red. And this is not sponsored by YouTube Red at all. I just want to make that clear. It's just out of hand with the ads.
There's also, it's entirely dependent as well on how people watch ads. Like if no one skips an ad, then it's just you're gonna get shafted with the amount of ads you get. If you skip it instantly, you're gonna get slightly fewer ads.
Yeah.
If you got an ad blocker on which no ads, then it's all individual, but
it is. So get that out of the way. So before we get into the show, let me of course introduce Mitch, who you can find over here.
Hi. You can also find me in the Mitch 692 channel
and community tab.
Obscure.
So say by the time this drops, there should be 2 videos of his on the community tab. Check both of those out.
One for Clay Obscure and the other one Pro Noob.
Well, I was going to say, occasionally there's like a spin-off that you do with a one-off video. So Claire Obscure is your latest one. And
Claire Obscure is getting 3 videos. It was going to be 2, but it's not getting 3. I've decided I want to talk about the endings by myself and not with Ricardo.
I was going to say, did Ricardo just goon too hard and you had to cut all that out?
He was very much wrong. It's all in, there's no editing in that video. It's all going to be completely unfiltered, because that's how
Ricardo wrong. That's impossible.
Bless him. He tried. It's like, no, you're wrong. So I'm going to talk about the endings as their own separate little mini video.
There we go. So stay tuned into the community tab. Find me doing whatever, wherever I'm doing it. I'm so behind on stuff, and I finally caught up with The Boys Season 3 and Gen V Season 1. So now I'm just starting The Boys Season 4. I kind of got Boys burnout when after Season 2, like it just got, I don't know, it was too much for me right there, and I was like, I'm just going to kind of take a break. And now that I'm kind of like years removed from it, it feels good again to watch it. So I'm like hardcore into it. So I'm like, and
I say Gen V was really good. Really good.
I actually like it, I think, more than the proper series. Like I like it more than The Boys.
Yeah. At least for just as a singular series, because it's getting a season 2, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Season 2,
they
yeah.
finally dropped the poster, and I didn't know this till I finished season 1. That one of the kids in it died in a motorcycle accident, so they completely like had to go back to the drawing board, which is why it's taken so long. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But man, the characters and the story in that series is
it's really
it's
good.
good. It's real good. So I suggest if anybody hasn't watched it, you check that out. And I'm mainly catching up because there's an event coming up, and I have to do Homelander for it. So
that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
So I got to get into character, and I got to dye my hair blonde. So it's if I pop up on here on one of these podcasts with blonde hair, you guys will know why, because I'm not wearing a wig. I told them, I'm like, I'm just going to do the blonde hair, just dye it, and we'll see what happens. So I might look like Homelander Slim Shady. I don't know.
I say, well, you notice a difference with all the gray,
right? Yeah. And it doesn't help that also like silver stuff in my hair, like it's because I use like a hair gel, right? And it has like the silver tint on it, so when I put it on, it's even more like shimmery. I'm like, it's fine, it's cool.
You had that platinum blonde, it was just like white.
Right. That's what's gonna happen. So stay tuned for some stuff. I might do a video on my other channel talking about the boys, but if that happens, I'll pop it up on the community tab. I'm not sure just yet, but it's kind of like a catch up in my thoughts on it. I'll see. So you guys stay tuned for that. I guess without further ado, we should just get into the show. We got stuff to talk about, Mitch.
Do we?
I mean, we got some Spider-Man.
You sent me. I disagree. I disagree heavily on that one. I don't,
Yeah. Well, look, it was either these topics or no podcast. Then it's these topics.
True. Yeah.
Yep. So I suppose we're gonna get into our first topic here, which is gonna kick off right into Spider-Man Brand New Day. So, boy, this past week we got a couple of updates. First and foremost, there's a casting out there, and they're casting the villain Tarantula, which, okay, all right. And then they're looking at, of all people, Tarantula. And then on top of this, we got the news. They're looking at Nicole Kidman for a male counterpart, female main lead. And you're like, okay, Nicole Kidman, fine. Like, great, cool. And then we get an update. It's like, also, like, the Hulk is in this film now. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is in this film.
Is he actually, though?
That's what all the reports are saying. And nobody's, like, debunked it or anything. And it's sounding like this film is going to be, I mean, look, it's sounding like we're just getting another Avengers level film, and it's their way to not do a multiverse film. They're like, look, Sony, we can't do another multiverse, but what if we just toss a bunch of Avengers in here?
But what if it is a multiverse movie?
I mean, maybe it could.
Because they could still delay it so it comes out between the Avengers movies, right?
Yeah, they could. They got that July of that year spot, and look, they delayed, like, 2 Avengers films. So it's like, what would they release next year? Nothing? Maybe? I mean, it could be ballsy. I don't know. But Spider-Man is sounding a little bloated at this point. Like 5 villains.
I mean, yeah, it's got like 5 villains. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Hulk now. And
I mean, with the Hulk, I'm okay with it if he actually is in there, because if you look at all the other like supporting MCU characters they've never had a huge role. Like Doctor Strange was in it a fair amount, but he wasn't in it a lot.
Right.
I'm kind of expecting that sort of a level of role, but
it's
why Hulk could be there, I don't know.
So, like, I was trying to figure this out, just kind of like in my head, trying to figure out why you put the Hulk in here. And my guess is Bruce Banner obviously knows of Spider-Man. He doesn't know Peter Parker. I'm going to guess we're going to have Bruce teaching a seminar or something at like Horizon Labs, and Peter is going to be a student, and the two are going to get closer. And then, by all accounts, the plot detail that seemingly leaked was some sort of gamma bomb or something sets the Hulk on a path of destruction. So he goes Savage Hulk. So I know
this
Mitch,
is the 3rd movie in a row we've had the gamma bomb. not even the 3rd movie. It was Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to be the Mad Bomb.
Yep.
Brave New World was supposed to be a Gamma Bomb. Now Spider-Man's a Gamma Bomb. This is just people wanting the Hulk.
And don't forget, Gamma Bomb was also supposed to be in Thunderbolts because they were gonna reveal that John Walker was Blue Hulk. He was A-Bomb. So they're finally gonna do it with this one.
Yeah,
I get it.
Finally.
Like,
yeah, definitely gonna do it. 100%.
I get it why you want to set up Hulk as a savage beast again in a film like this, especially where Sony's gonna flip a part of the bill and the Hulk doesn't have his own franchise, so this is the way you do it in. But
then there's Secret Wars, right? You can just whack it in there.
Yeah.
You haven't even got to explain why. It's just like, cool, it's
Right.
Secret Wars. Everything's different now.
And also, there's rumors that since Spider-Man is still allegedly coming out next July, that the following July, that July 26th of 27 release date, or of 27 release date, that film might be the World War Hulk multiverse film, which if it's Spider-Man and then at the end of that they establish World War Hulk multiverse, okay, like, sure.
If that's the route they're actually going, then yeah, fine. No, that's one way of doing it. We've had World War Hulk movie rumors for 15 years. If it's gonna happen, obviously it's gonna happen, but
right.
I remain skeptical.
That's exactly where I'm at. Like, I just don't know.
So it's such a random place to have it. Why do World War Hulk in the middle of Secret Wars?
Yep. Exactly. That's why it makes me ask questions that I'm not sure I want answers to, because it's like, then what does this film become? What happens with this entire thing? Like, yeah.
Also, can they even do a World War Hulk movie?
I think they can.
Oh well, with him, sure. Yeah.
What if it's? I mean, they say they can, right? So technically, maybe they can. What if it's like they're messing with us and it's not going to be like a proper World War Hulk again? Because if they don't have the entire rights, so watch like the follow-up be like Spider-Man and the World, or like Wolverine versus World War Hulk or something. Just to,
yeah.
Circumnavigate.
I mean, that'd be one way of doing it. It's just Wolverine and Hulk.
Wolverine
versus Hulk, or V Hulk, because that's how we do it.
Yeah. Yep. Man.
Dawn of Gamma.
Dawn. Everything now associated with Dawn either goes back to Justice League or the Seven, which, to be told, they're both kind of the same understanding of the superhero genre.
What was that one BVS title? The King Dead? Was that Aquaman?
That was Aquaman too. Yeah, the King Dead.
Yeah. The Hulk Dead. Or Gamma
the Hulk Dead. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I don't want to get too bogged down, and I'm worried about Spider-Man, but a part of me is like, partially yes, partially no. I don't.
I say it'd be interesting because Spider-Man and the Hulk have an interesting dynamic, and especially the size-wise, you could do some really cool action stuff with that. But
well, I looked at like what they could potentially do, and there is that comic where like Spidey gets infused with Gamma as well, and then he becomes Spider Hulk. I'm like, oh, Sony can't resist doing that, and Hot Toys can't either. You know, like,
no. I'll say the Hot Toys would be crazy for that one.
Yeah. They know what they got.
But yeah, it's if it happens, cool. I'll have no objections against it. It just sounds really weird currently. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Seems a bit directionless. Like, we have to have a Hulk somewhere.
Yeah, shove him into something. Get Mark Ruffalo off the streets. He's being too political, for the love of God.
God bless Mark Ruffalo.
I'm convinced it's him and Tatiana Maslany being so social, such big social warriors online, that they're like, we just need to shove them anywhere to get them off the internet.
Pretty much, yeah.
So again, stay tuned for more Spider-Man stuff. We seem to be getting updates every single week. Inevitably, by July, when they start production, we're gonna have way more details and official stuff. So stay tuned. And
well, you know why we're hearing a lot, don't you? We're hearing a lot of quotes. It's the end of the month.
Oh man, it is. It's the 30th. Oh man,
it's all just rent tweets. That's all it is. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. I guess this podcast drops at the beginning of the month, so we didn't capitalize on the rent tweet. Damn. Time to drop it a day early on the 31st.
Members get it today, YouTube tomorrow.
There you go. There you go. Well, speaking of getting it today, but this is getting it never. The Black Panther EA game has been canceled after 2.5 years in development. Boy,
and the studio gone with it. So,
yep. And man, where do you even start with this one? So, most recently, EA and other companies have stated that instead of licensing IPs and sharing the profits, they more or less just want to focus on their own in-house IPs. This is clearly a casualty of that. They've
100%, yeah.
You know, they've spent who knows how many millions of dollars, if not dozens, if not 100 million, like the Wonder Woman game. We know that they had a working, playable build. There's tons of concept art. The people working on the game have confirmed it was moving along. I honestly don't understand why you would cancel a game based on a $1 billion franchise that was a culture of movement and still is relevant. I
mean, maybe it was costing too much.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, it could be as simple as I didn't want a Black Panther game. But
yeah,
I honestly I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't good. It just wasn't coming along good.
Right?
Like, sure, there's a playable build, but how good, like, is that actually looking?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, it's like some of the concept art that leaked. It looked like it was going to be all of Wakanda open world. Like, we're talking about all the tribes. You were going to go among all of them. Like, the Skrulls, I guess, were going to play some role in it. Like, they got pretty far along when you look at everything that they were going for. It looks like, you know, the concept art that leaked and the designs, like, you're like, man, and here's the unfortunate news. Unless it's Spider-Man, don't guarantee it anymore. Even Wolverine is like, is that gonna sell? Probably is, but you don't know. Probably not as high as Spider-Man, you know? Like, it's a risky proposal to spend $200-300 million now on a game. And from EA's perspective, they've canceled a version of Titanfall 3 4 times now because they can't micro monetize every piece of it. I'm in the belief that this game was canceled because they couldn't figure out how to microtransaction every.
It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. It's EA.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, no. But then at the same time, another open world game, it was just going to be a Ubisoft clone. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
like world games are these days.
No. And
No.
again, as somebody that plays like 6 Ubisoft style games a year, because again, every open world game is now the same. It's just a Ubi clone. I get like why you would want that, and at the same time, it's like they announced we're making 3 other games based on Marvel, but at the same time, they even announced that like after the next Jedi game, they're done with the Star Wars license. Like, EA again doesn't want to license stuff out. So the only game they might release is realistically Iron Man, but
yeah, what's the other? What's it? Iron Man, Jedi 3. What's the other one?
And there's 2 other Marvel licensed games that we don't know and they haven't confirmed. They just confirmed there's 3 in development with Iron Man. So
they'll probably get canned at some point.
I was going to say it can't
Very
be anything
quietly.
X-Men or Wolverine because that's a Sony. It can't be anything Spider-Man. That's a Sony. Captain America and the Black Panther game are Skydance games. So who do you have left? Guardians was with another company and Square Publishing.
I mean, I guess you could still do Guardians.
Oh, that'd be ballsy.
But I don't know.
Watch it be Daredevil, man. Just watch it be Daredevil.
That'd be crazy.
Or Punisher or something. You're like, what?
I mean, it's EA, so shooting games, yeah.
Yeah. Just do the Oblivion remake style of the 2004 Punisher video game. Just slap an Unreal skin over it, and it would hold up today because that was a good game.
What if it's a new Hulk game?
Ooh.
Did I that? What was that one Hulk game everyone loved? Like there's something.
There was Ultimate Destruction.
That's the one. Yeah.
And like the MCU tie-in one, like that came out with Iron Man, that was actually pretty decent too. So like, honestly, if they use the Frostbite engine, which has great destruction, man, another Hulk game would be, that would be like just.
It would sell exactly 6 copies, but it would be an interesting.
Okay, so I'm buying the Steam version and the PlayStation version. So 4 other copies gotta get sold somewhere.
It'll be streamed on the Switch too. So there's that.
That's true.
The Epic Game Store, Steam, PlayStation.
Yeah,
done.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. EA, they're wishy-washy with their games now, so I don't know. Like, it'll be interesting to see what their next game is, but I'm not holding my breath for anything good or original.
No.
It's EA. I mean, yeah. It's, again, a part of me doesn't want to throw them under the bus, but you have to. Whatever they're making, I guarantee they need it to be some sort of games as a service to make them money.
Yeah.
Like Marvel Ultimate Alliance Ultimate Team, just like the FIFA style,
Oh, can you imagine? Oh.
That's what it'll be. I'm telling you.
Oh no. It'll be Avengers Pocket, and you have to pull cards, Avengers cards every day.
Oh no!
And there'll be a new Avengers pack a month.
100% one of those games is mobile. I didn't even think of that, but that's gonna happen. Yep. Well,
I think someone needs to do a. This is not just because Claire obscure, by the way. I want like a turn-based, not like an XCOM strategy,
a turn-based RPG. Okay, yeah.
Like a Final Fantasy style,
right? That would be pretty cool, honestly.
Like, give me a linear story with the team. I think that could work really well.
It could.
It'll sell 3 copies, but I'd be happy. Just don't let EA do it.
They'll say it'd be just like Midnight Suns. It sells to the most hardcore of that type of game, and that's it. It's like otherwise you're like, oh no, and then yep. It's and I was gonna say, like, they're jumping on quickly to the other video game licenses they have. It's like Spider-Man's out there, Wolverine, the Venom game that was leaked. That might just be canceled, I'm assuming, because they haven't announced it, and you would assume it would come out this year.
I assume they're really struggling a lot with the with that leak to what they can and can't carry on.
Yeah. And also the passing of Tony Todd kind of puts a
obviously they still have all the voice lines for it, because he was like, oh yeah, they didn't use 90% of what I recorded. It's like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But
well, I suppose that's
Marvel games is an interesting situation, because what could they do? Obviously they could do whatever they wanted. There's tons of stuff Marvel can do, but
again, I'm praying for Daredevil or Punisher, maybe something along those lines, something a little cheaper, but again, who knows?
I mean, whatever it is, someone's going to spend $200 million on it, and it's going to just be another reason for why AAA games is failing.
True. That's true. Because only Spider-Man will sell for games. We know this as a fact now, so there we go. But since we were talking about Daredevil, let's talk about Daredevil again, because not only did we get the first initial reports from like Samba on Daredevil Born Again's viewership, which was lower than season 1 of Netflix and season 3, we now got Nielsen, and they confirmed through their tracking. And again, Nielsen also has official numbers that they get from the studio confirmed to them before they publish the reports, because they go to all the investors and people that pay for them as well, more in-depth numbers. Daredevil Born Again did not chart in Nielsen's top 10, and somebody I talked to said it barely cracked top 25.
Classic.
Again,
In fairness, that sounds about right for Daredevil. Daredevil's never been the biggest name.
Nope.
They've tried.
Yep.
No matter how good Daredevil is, he will never be a top seller.
Yeah. Again, like people always get mad at us when we say this here on the channel because us here and you people here are nerds that like Daredevil, right? But the general population doesn't care for Daredevil. He's always been a niche character and he hasn't had that breakout. And the closest he got to it was unfortunately season 2 of Daredevil, which is the worst season. And a lot of people jumped off because they were like, what even is this? It's so all over the place. And coincidentally enough, after Daredevil season 2, a lot of them watched The Defenders. And that killed any hope you had for Daredevil being mainstream, you know? So it's like...
also, for a show that's a continuation of something that was cancelled 10 years ago, I'm not surprised.
Yep.
Part of me is like, they obviously don't care because they just greenlit the second season anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's cheap enough to produce. 50 million for an entire season. Like, where are you going to get that these days? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So,
also, it does guarantee a certain amount of people to stay on the service. So,
yep. And it pleases the algorithm for them, but also they can release new action figures. The Daredevil action figures from Born Again sold out within days. The restock sold out. The restock of the restock sold out. The Hot Toys is going to move. So there's different metrics, obviously. But I think what we've come to realize is the ceiling for Daredevil is 14 million views. And it's going to balance out.
Like 14 million people watching something is a lot of people.
Yeah. And like, that's not bad. And it's going to balance out like season 1, 3, and Born Again around 7. And to be fair, if it goes up to 10 with people watching it months after when they resub, that's fine. That's more than Daredevil can ever hope to get ever. You know, so it's like it is what it is. It's just the cold hard
fact.
Everything
really needs to chill out and realize that you don't have to be a billion views in 3 seconds the instant something comes out. Like, you can just have like good low cost mid view things and it's fine. You can still have that out there. Like, you don't need everything to be the next big thing.
Like, people don't realize, because they want to ignore the facts and the statements and the sheets we've seen from Disney, the most profitable Marvel TV series of all time is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let that sink in, guys. It got the most amount of views out of any Marvel show ever, and it's the most profitable. ABC made well over $3 billion in just pure profits on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., $3 billion in profit. And that,
do you know why nothing's getting close to that?
Well, a bunch of metrics and reasons we could toss in there.
Because no other show has had the Inhumans in it.
I'll take it. Yeah. Well, it's also like it blows my mind to know that the budget of an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was never over like $1.5 to $2 million max.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
and
crazy.
I've rewatched a couple of the episodes that I remember being real good. And you watch those episodes, you're like, my God, where are you guys spending this money? Because it looks real good. Like, it looks so good in some of the, like, the CG regards. You're like, I don't get it. How you guys pulled this off?
I dare go back and watch any of that out of fear that I'm not going to enjoy it. It's like, you know what? No, I'm happy having the memory that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, this is fine.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it, honestly. It's, but I don't know, man. Like, nothing against Daredevil or Punisher. They're going to do the numbers that they do. They're going to be fine. Don't panic. Don't hate people if they point it out. Don't get mad at the numbers and the facts. And like, people are like, but you're telling me She-Hulk got more? Yes. Yes. Substantially more. She-Hulk is in the top 5. Like, and the reason for that is, again, it's a Hulk. It's a little bit more known. The Hulk was in it. It's a more prestigious, the budget, prestigious.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Not that it's better, or whatever you will. But again, it's a different optics on it and how they positioned it, and its placement in the announcement to final release. Like, She-Hulk was spotlighted as an important thing, and once people said, "Hey, don't focus on these things being so integral to everything," Daredevil Born Again isn't. So, like, that's gone back to the way of, fine, these shows that exist, but they don't have to acknowledge stuff. It's a lot of reasons for this, which it's fine. It's fine, guys.
It's totally fine. No,
Yeah.
it's not a disaster or anything. It's just, at the end of the day, it wasn't even in the top 20 of all streaming shows. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Like, out of the billions, and I think you're not in the top 20. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. And
people have lost all perspective when it comes to numbers in the last 10 years. It's wild. Absolutely wild.
The number has become the thing that sticks out, but anything surrounding that number doesn't matter anymore. Like,
not even the context. Like, just number got to be big. Just give me a big number. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. Nothing else matters as long as the number is big. It's like, but guys, there's other metrics to measure something being successful. There are products out there. Do you guys know those Resident Evil movies, the terrible Resident Evil movies? They found out that each film, if they produce it on the same budget and pull in the same crowd, they'll make $20 million in profit. It's right around 20 million each film. So you know what they did was they positioned those films surrounded by video games and new merchandise launching, because the film would get people hyped, and then they would buy up the merchandise surrounding the IP. And if you look at Capcom stock, when Resident Evil and Sony's, movies drop, it just goes like this with the Resident Evil bar, always with the merch. Like, there's synergy to this that people aren't thinking about, and it's important. So, again, don't just look at the number. Like Thunderbolts, it's not going to hit $400 million at box office. Okay, is it a failure? Technically, on a numbers level, sure. But the other optics surrounding the entire thing, when you look at it, it's not. So,
I was going to say, Thunderbolts is the weird one, because I feel like that was we need to kind of get back on track a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're more interested in the actual response to it than the numbers itself. But I could be making stuff up on that, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's
obviously they want money and profit back, but not everything is about money and profit.
Yeah, sometimes you got to. I mean, as I've been saying, we're in phase 1, phase 2 again, where it's going to start and it's going to slowly build up, and we're going to see that. And event films are going to be big. Thunderbolts.
Also, what DC's doing. Like, Gunn's not making Superman with the intention to make $1 billion. He's like, no, we need to get the trust back, essentially.
Right.
We need people back on our side. So let's just make a good movie.
And unfortunate for him, every website analyst has said that film needs $1 billion. So it's like,
of course it does. Of course it does. Yeah.
I mean, it'll be rough, but hey, we're gonna literally talk about that in just over a month when those films are coming out. So
that's crazy to me. It's so close.
We're finally here.
How?
So stay tuned. But hey, something else releasing in July is the Fantastic Four First Steps. And this week, there was more screenings that happened, and multiple people that we can kind of trust online to have been accurate said, no, screenings did happen, and some details leaked surrounding it. So spoilers, the post-credit scene of the film has allegedly hit the net, the description of it, and it's a post-credit scene as much as one could make one to build hype. So
let me guess, it's literally the other side of the Thunderbolts credit scene.
So that's what I thought, but it's not.
Oh,
so in a, like, we have Sue Storm reading a book to Franklin Richards, and Reed calls for her. So she quickly leaves the room, and she's talking to Reed. She comes back, and Dr. Doom is holding Franklin. And then it cuts to black, saying Dr. Doom and the Fantastic Four will return in Avengers Doomsday. Okay.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, apparently you don't see his face, but it's comic accurate costume. Like
Nice.
straight up, a description also said, I saw one in-depth description right before we read, like went and did this. It's Alex Ross's painting come to life. So
Nice.
okay,
Nice.
all right,
Nice.
I'll take
Nice.
it.
Nice. I expect nothing less, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really like that because then Franklin's going to play a massive part in Secret Wars, or at least a part. So
Yeah,
and it makes a lot of sense, you know, whole Franklin reality warping stuff. But he's like, I guess he's still a child, so it's going to be a bit.
yeah.
But I'm down with that. That sounds cool. That sounds
Now,
cool.
again, you brought up the whole other side of the new Avengers, which is the confusing part, because if this is set in the Fantastic Four universe, then their universe doesn't get destroyed, and then this scene happens and they escape. So it can't be that. So this has got to be set in the MCU once they've settled in. I'm assuming into.
I mean, not necessarily.
Watchtower?
You could have it so the post credit scene is their universe, but they end up going like hopping all over the place.
Yeah.
Because they know it's not their Doctor Doom. So it hasn't been said that Doctor Doom's not actually. There's no one else in their universe. It's just them currently.
Exactly.
So,
yep.
It's obviously going to be a different reality, Doctor Doom. So they're just going to be hopping between everything.
Honestly,
I wonder.
Find it. No. You could be right on that. What if he hijacks Franklin and escapes, and they detect he's in the MCU 616, and that's the new Avenger scene? They're coming to rescue their son. That could honestly work. So yeah.
So I assume Doomsday is going to start off with something like addressing these two scenes.
Yeah. You would have to assume it does, because there's just like those gaps in there. They're kind of perfect. So, now
that would be my guess entirely, that they're chasing after him through the multiverse. But
now this scene plays out like this, and they don't show you Doctor Doom's face. That means it's not Robert Downey Jr., obviously, because they didn't want to pay him $50 million for 3 seconds. So
unless it is RDJ, but RDJ's just playing ball.
They shot it the same time they shot the scene for the new Avengers. The Russo brothers were like, "Hey, come on, we need this." Yeah.
So you got them all on set anyway. Why not?
Right. Yeah. Hey, Robert, do us a favor, just like you did for appearing in the Incredible Hulk, because you weren't paid for that.
It's true. Yeah. Got full circle moment. There you go. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like poetry at Rams.
Oh, Lucas is gonna pop up.
Watch it. It'll actually be one of the Russos in the Doom suit.
Yeah. Gotta play it himself. No, I would be like, remember, James Gunn is the egomaniac that does this, because Justice Gang, James Gunn, ego.
Is that actually the Justice Gang?
That is what they're called. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I kind of love it. Kind of love it.
It's a proto name, all right, if I've ever heard one. They're gonna do that scene from Fantastic, where some sort of Justice League. What did you say?
No.
Superman's gonna do it. They got to recreate the meme. Oh man.
Ironically, the only way to make that scene good is to parody. Just completely. Okay.
True.
Okay.
So then, Mitch, what's your take on using Franklin as the MacGuffin for Doomsday?
I don't know. It makes sense because it's Franklin Richards. But part of me is like, he's going to be like 8 weeks old. He's going to be extremely tiny. I don't know how I feel about an actual literal newborn being a MacGuffin. But it's one way to get people to not like Doom, I guess.
Yeah,
he's an actual baby thief, but
Doctor Doom is going wild over here in the multiverse. Which,
though, I assume they're going to do it where he takes him as a child, and then next time you see him, he's going to be older, and that's
and also like the time placement. They're set in the 60s, so who's to say that by the time that post-credit scene doesn't happen, it's been a couple of years?
Yeah,
we don't know.
That's true.
Yeah.
We also don't know when in the timeline this takes place Fantastic Four. Like this
Yeah.
could have taken place 20 years ago, but it's in their 60s. You know, like how Captain Marvel is.
Yeah. Yep.
And then
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
true.
they've been chasing Doom for the last like 18 years, and now they finally found him.
Mm-hmm.
It depends how they do it. Initially, the idea is weird, but I'm sure there's a way around it if this actually is the case.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they got a way to do it. So I'm just interested in how does this all balance out and how did they throw it in there? Because again, it's weird to have a Fantastic Four film without Doctor Doom. And I'm not saying he should have been the villain, but I'm saying that relationship between them is core to Doctor Doom and Reed. So if they don't know each other and Doom doesn't exist in their universe, that's already taken like a major part of both of their plots and throwing it out there, like not having it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only part for me.
No, you're right. You're right. They can still. No, because it'd be weird.
The Fantastic Four will mention him and a guy called Victor were friends, and then Doctor Doom will say that he did all this because of the Fantastic Four in his universe, who he defeated.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I accidentally killed my Franklin. That's why I'm here for yours.
Yeah, it's like the universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then nothing's going to matter because sequels is going to smush everything together anyway, and then
true.
There'll be a Victor and a Doom with Reed. So.
True. That is very true. That's very true.
So who knows?
Yeah, so just looking at this whole thing, I don't know. I'm excited. The post-credit scene sounds wild. The film looks good outside of the terrible CG on the surfer. Everything looks good. So,
yeah.
You know what blows my mind is they're like, hey, for Galactus, we put a dude in a real suit and let him stomp around the miniature city. For Silver Surfer, we did her entirely in CG. You remember how the last Fantastic Four film that included the Surfer just put Doug Jones into a silver suit and it looked good? Why didn't you just do that?
Well, you did probably lost the suit. We've lost the technology because they lost that specific suit.
We don't know how to do it. Yeah,
no.
It's
that classic chestnut.
Everything else about the film looks good, though, in my opinion. Like,
it
looks so good. So,
I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want Galactus. Goddamn.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see how he's handled.
The only thing I don't like about that Galactus is the eyes are constantly lit up. I'm not a huge fan of that. I want to I know you're just going to see Ralph Ineson's, or is it Ralph Ineson?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I know you just see him at that point, but no, give me those square Galactus eyes. That's what I want. But...
Yeah, they'll save that for the redesign so they can resell stuff.
Oh.
That's why they're going to turn up the saturation 25% on the redesign just to make them brighter. It's like, there you go, rebuy all the stuff.
I don't get why they've made him that dark.
Yeah,
it goes from like a pink to a brown. It's like, yeah, he still looks great.
The colors are just a bit wonky.
Yeah.
Well,
especially when you've seen other suits and other stuff, it's like, no, they're as bright as they should be. Why? You just had Wolverine in a bright yellow suit. Why have we now having like a mauve and brown Galactus? Like,
I'm telling you, it's all for the redesign. That's it.
100%.
All of it.
Yeah.
Just like the Daredevil suit not having the double D on the chest, and when he gets the red one back, he's going to add that. It's going to make it the same suit. They just added that and a couple more lines, MCU lines to make sure you got to buy the update.
At the end of the day, the real villain is capitalism.
That's true. That's true.
It's all toys in mind. It's all designed to sell you something.
Yep. Well, I suppose that brings us to the end of the show, everybody. So, as always, we are going to be doing 2 members topics. So if you missed what those are, DC Studios at SDCC, James Gunn revealed some details about what they're bringing, and Doctor Doom and his all-out attack in Doomsday, some details in regards to that from the set have leaked. So stay tuned, and hopefully we see you guys there. So everybody take care, and hopefully we'll catch you next week for a fine show. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.